Howdy gamesters and fellow toy hunters, coming to you today with a haul video. One game, some movies, a figure that I got from eBay, and some books from Books A Million and Barnes & Nobles. Went out today to kind of hit up the different Labor Day sales. I had a lot of coupons in my inbox, and a lot of things were, a lot of sales were going on for Labor Day, so I work tomorrow. I'm one of the few jobs, as well as some retailers and stuff, I'm one of the few jobs that actually has to go to work tomorrow and doesn't get a day off for Labor Day. So, that being said, I wanted to just kind of go out again and see what I could see. So, I'm going to go ahead and start with what I got from eBay. And I ended up getting a figure from eBay. It's an Amikami Harley Quinn figure. I ended up getting a really good price on her because the box was damaged and open, and I don't care about that because she's going to come out of her box anyway to be displayed. So I was really excited to get her. I will be doing a full review on her out of the box, and I do want to start getting more figures because I do like them. Sometimes they can be a little pricey, but I like to surround myself with things that I really like, and figures are something I really like. So I went to Barnes & Nobles because I had a 15% off one item coupon, and there was something that I wanted to get out of the manga section that I'm going to show in a minute. So I happened to be in the manga section, and I saw this book. Now, this book should not have been in the manga section because it's a bargain price book. It should have been up front with the bargain price books. But if it had, I never would have seen it, and I would have missed out. So what caught my eye was the spine, and the spine looked really different. It didn't look like a typical manga, and it was on a lower shelf, so I couldn't really see the foiled words, and is actually Ninja the Shadow Warrior, and it's literally all about ninja and kind of how they lived and everything, and it's got different woodcuts and different pictures in it, and really pretty kind of painted artwork and stuff. And I love learning about, you know, the ninja, the samurai, ancient warriors of Japan, and just Japan in general. So I was really excited to pick this up, and it was bargain price for $9.98. And I thought, well, why not? It's a really, really nice hardcover book, and I'm really going to enjoy reading that and learning more about the ninja. And the main reason that I went into Barnes & Nobles and wanted to use my 15% off coupon is I got the second volume of the Death Note Black Edition. Now, the little story behind this is I actually have all of the Death Note manga. I have both of the novels about L that were published afterwards. I also have both sets of anime and both of the movies, the live-action original Death Note movies that they did, and then L Saves the World that came after. But I believe it's the first 4 volumes they did black editions for. That's all I could find, and my copy of Volume 2 ended up getting ruined, so I had to toss that away, and I wanted to get a replacement copy before you just couldn't find the black edition anymore. So that's why I ended up getting that. I do love Death Note. It's a really amazing anime, movie, and manga, which everything that came after was based on the manga. So I highly recommend, if you haven't read it, to pick up the manga and read it. It's very different. It does have like a dark theming to it, but it's very, very good. I ended up going to Books A Million. I am a Millionaires Club member, so I get 10% off of my purchases anyway, and I regularly get $5 off of 25 coupons in my inbox. And I had one of those today, so I just decided I was going to go ahead, and I had a couple of other things that I wanted to pick up. I picked up the first 2 volumes of the Sailor Moon manga. It's Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon. I'm used to Pretty Soldier Sailor Moon, but Pretty Guardian Sailor Moon, and ashamedly, as big of a Sailor Moon fan as I am, I have never read the manga. And I know it wasn't published here. It was published here a long time ago, before I started reading the manga, before I even started reading manga. And I didn't get a chance to lay my hands on them or read them, and then they ended up retranslating it and coming back out with all 12 volumes. So I'm really excited to read this. From what I've heard, the translation this time around is much better. It's much more accurate. So I'm a huge Sailor Moon fan. Love it. I've really been enjoying Sailor Moon Crystal, which is based on the manga. So, like I said, really, really excited to read that and get stuck into it. I needed one more volume to give me my 25, and I didn't want to pick up another volume of Sailor Moon because that would have put me way over. So I was just looking around and seeing what I could see, and I ended up picking up the first volume of Bleach. Now, I've really been enjoying the anime. The second time around, I had like the first season, and I watched a few episodes, and I really couldn't get into it, and so I ended up trading on or selling on the first season, and I wish I hadn't, because now I'm kind of watching it online, and I'm really, really enjoying it now, so I'm really kind of kicking myself. But if an anime series, which a lot of them are, most of them in fact, if they're based on a manga, I do like to read the manga, because a lot of times you're going to find a lot of differences between the manga and the anime. And you will end up getting a more complete story if you read the manga. So if I'm really enjoying an anime series, I do like to read the manga as well, just to get a feel for what the entire series is about. So I'm really looking forward to starting on that. Okay, next I went to Best Buy, and my last pickups are from Best Buy. And I'm going to show you the game that I got. And the game that I got was a PlayStation Vita game. I got Conception 2. Now, this was the game that I saw yesterday, but I was doing research and I found out it's going to take up to 15 days for the points that I acquired to drop into the system. And I said I can't wait 15 days because this may be gone. And or they may take it off of sale, but as it's being clearanced out, I doubt that it's going to come off of sale. Basically, you're probably not going to be able to find this. Now, if you go on the website, this is actually priced at, I believe it's $31.98, but I went into the store and it was $21.99. Just the same as it was yesterday. And I'm actually really glad that I went back and picked this up, because there were only 2 copies left in the Best Buy that I went to. And there were no copies left of the Demon Gaze that I picked up yesterday. So I'm really excited to have it. It's the special edition one with the CD, which I have never seen before out in the wild. I've only ever seen just the regular Vita game, so I'm really excited to get stuck into this and playing it. I know that some people said it's really weird because of how you create the Star Children and stuff, but you know, it's quirky, it's Japanese, you know, and it's an Atlas title. Do you honestly expect like normalcy from an Atlas title? They are always bringing over very quirky things. So, as I said, really, really excited to get stuck into this, and I'm really happy that I could pick up the special edition for such a great price. The last 4 things that I'm going to show are some movies that I got. I ended up picking up a Blu-ray copy of Leon the Professional. Now, I know a few videos ago I believe I showed it, I had the DVD copy of The Professional that I picked up. And I picked it up more as a placeholder because I really didn't want that edition. I thought it was something different, and it's not. I wanted the edition that had the uncut version of the movie. Well, that doesn't have the uncut version of the movie. It's just the cut US release version of the movie with a whole bunch of special features. And I was really kind of disappointed. So when I went into Best Buy, I saw this, and I saw that it had the US release and the uncut extended version, plus all the special features that were on the DVD. And it was $9.99, so I just snapped it right up. I love this movie. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's one of those movies that as a kid, I was very much censored as to what I watched, and I believe I was not very much censored. I mean, there were things that I watched, but it had to be with parental permission, and they had to sit there and watch it with me. And this was something that was never going to get the green light from my folks. So I snuck watched it when I was maybe 16 or so. And I was hooked. I loved it. I think this is an amazing, fantastic movie. The relationship between Leon and Matilda is really great, and it's really kind of heartwarming, and it'll end up making you tear up at some points. But the relationship between Leon and Matilda is kind of what they cut in the U.S. release, because there are some scenes, from what I understand, it's not really like explicit or anything, but it crosses a certain line that is very, very taboo in the U.S. And so they said, no, we gotta cut all this stuff out. So they touch on it in the U.S. release. I mean, you get a feeling that their relationship could have been something a little more, but it's very, very taboo because she's like a kid, and he's an older guy. But it's very good. It's very heartwarming, very good story. It's very, very violent. This is not a kid's movie, so if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. It's one of those movies that definitely made me cry. I was crying at 16, and at that time I really wasn't a crier in movies, so highly recommend it. The next movie that I got was The Birdcage. This is starring Robin Williams, Nathan Lane. It has Gene Hackman in it, and Diane Wiest. And this is a wonderful movie. If you haven't seen it, again, I highly recommend this. It's very quirky, very different, and of course, Robin Williams passed away. And I was looking for some movies in my movie collection that have Robin Williams in, and I have really no movies with Robin Williams, and there's a lot of his movies that I really, really like, and I kind of went, oh my gosh, I need to go out and get some of the movies that I like with Robin Williams in them, because, he was, a lot of people, I don't think he got the credit, he really didn't get the credit that he deserved. A lot of people think of him just, he was a comedian and that was it, and that's so not true. He was a wonderful actor. There's a part that he plays in this movie that I really love called Dead Again. And it has Kenneth Branagh and Emma Thompson in it. And he plays this little bit part character. But the part that he plays, even though it's small, it's so stand out, and it's a very serious part. He could play very, very serious. And to me, in that small part, he does a better job than the two A-list actors that are in there. And yeah, so he What Dreams May Come it's a very good movie. I don't have that one yet either, and I need to get it. That's a very serious movie. He plays a very serious part. And as I said, he just never got the credit that he deserved as an actor. The Birdcage is a comedy, but it also has parts that will tug at your heartstrings, and they're kind of a little saddish in a way. And really, that's how Robin Williams played a lot of his characters, is they had some little bit of sadness about them, or there was some little bit of tragedy there. So, and I think that's kind of the way his life was. So, if you haven't seen The Birdcage, I highly recommend it. It's a great film. Okay, the next movie that I got is Hook. Now, Hook is one of those movies that I didn't appreciate until I got older. I really didn't like it. They style it as a kid's movie, and honestly, I really didn't care for it when I was a kid. It wasn't until I got older that I could really kind of relate to this movie. And it's a grown-up Peter Pan, if you're not familiar with it. Again, highest recommendation. It has, and I'm going to forget everybody who's in here, Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Julia Roberts, and Bob Hoskins. Two great actors who are no longer with us, Robin Williams and Mr. Bob Hoskins. Phenomenal actors. And actually, the kid who plays Rufio in this movie is the voice of Prince Zuko in Avatar, The Last Airbender, one of my favorite cartoons that has been produced by Nickelodeon in quite some time. I also put it in with my anime collection because it is that style. Actually, that's a series, going off on a little bit of a tangent, that's a series that I need to finish, because sadly enough, I haven't even finished it. I got through Book of Water, and I caught some of the Earth book here and there, but I've never actually sat down and watched the whole series straight through, and I need to. But anyway, going back to Hook, wonderful movie, and again, a little bit of sadness in Robin Williams' Peter Pan character, but so good. Highest recommendations. The last movie that I picked up, again, it's kind of a, I don't like to say tragic comedy because it's not that serious, but it does have parts that will really tug at your heartstrings and stuff, and that is Mrs. Doubtfire. And Mrs. Doubtfire is just one of those very different movies. Again, I didn't see it until I got up older, and I really appreciate it. It's very good. It's the laugh out loud funny, but at the same time it has those kind of sad and tragical parts in it. And very good. If you haven't seen it, definitely do yourself a favor. Pick it up, watch it. You're going to love it, I guarantee. That's all my pickups. I want to thank you guys so much for watching. Thumbs up the video for really cool movies, really cool manga, and figures. And if you're not one of my lovely subscribers, please do yourself a favor. Click the subscribe button down below and become an inmate of the Madhouse. And if you feel so inclined, please leave me a comment down below. I love to read them, and I love to respond to them. I want to thank you guys again so much for watching. And as always, peace, love, and happy gaming and toy hunting. Bye, y'all.